What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show is money. Do you love or hate it? Do you actually love money? Do you hate money? Or do you have a love-hate relationship with money? What if this is the reason you don't have as much money as you would like? I'm actually a medical doctor. If you just joining me for the first time, I quit medicine quite a while ago after major surgery and became a seeker, as I call it. I became Reiki Master, I became Akashic Records teacher and Access Consciousness Facilitator, artist, podcast host. I mean, I've tried different things. I've been searching to help myself, and when I found something that's working, I now invite people to different possibilities with their life, with their health, with their money, with relationship, through private sessions and through classes around the world, which is online and in person. So let's talk about money, because usually that's the thing that people use an excuse. I don't have enough money to do this. I don't have enough money, or I don't have time, or I don't have enough health. And guess what? They all related. It all comes out. It doesn't matter if it's money that you don't have enough, time you don't have enough, or you don't have relationship or health. All of that is part of our belief system. Our points of view create our reality, and I talk about it a lot. If you're curious, you can go to archives on YouTube, on Inspired Choices Network. There are old shows that I've done about point of view creating your reality, your judgments, all of that. And we still will be talking about judgments here, the points of view that create either not enough money. Well, I don't know anybody who has too much money. Some other people might judge that person have too much money, but not that person. Usually it's never enough. As I said, I've never seen a person who would say, I have too much money. It's always not enough. So what creates that not enough? What creates that lack? Let's play with Access Consciousness tools. And Access Consciousness was created by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Hare. And you can find out more on accessconsciousness.com or on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. You will see the tools. I might be using some of those tools today, or just take a class, because there are wonderful classes around the world that not necessarily with me. It could be any facilitator in your area. Just search for bars classes. And if you never had your bars run, oh my God, not saying anything until you do, and then you'll share it with me. So let's start with love part. Do you love money? Or do you love the idea of money? Because a lot of times people look at, oh, I would love to have money, and yet they're not doing anything to create more. A lot of times they don't believe that they can create more. A lot of times they actually look at this, it's like, no, I cannot have, this is as much as I can earn in this job. But what if it's not the job? What if you can create other sources of income? But people don't get that because they have a point of view that that's it. This is my ceiling. This is kind of like as high as I can go. With everything that's going on in the world right now, people talking about recessions, depressions, markets, and all of that, and it doesn't matter if it's now, 10 years in the future, 10 years in the past, it's always the same thing. Judgments that it will get worse or it will get better. What if we actually look at our own points of view that create our reality, our lives? And do you love money? And a lot of people actually don't. If we look at your points of view, what do you think about money? What do you kind of like, what's your points of view? A lot of people, when I do the classes, I'll ask that question. And a lot of people would talk about, oh, money is evil. Money is root of all evil. Money is dirty. Money is, there's so many points of view. A lot of people make it like blood money. And all of that creates that, oh, I love money, but I don't want it. Or I want more money, but no, I don't like it. It's all unconscious. I'm not talking about cognitive points of view. A lot of things that stops us or limits us are the subconscious, unconscious, and a lot of times even anti-conscious belief systems, which might not be even ours. Look around you. How many people share the same point of view you have, and how many of those points of view, yours, theirs, or might be governments, religion, spirituality? Because a lot of spiritual modality actually talk about, oh, no, you have to help people for free. You have to kind of like, no, money is evil. You have to give your love, your energy freely. Not so much. Because a lot of times what I found through different modalities and different techniques, and it's not just access consciousness or Akashic Records or Reiki or any other ones, if you actually don't have exchange of energy, some sort of energy, could it be money, could be food, could be love, could be relationship, doesn't matter. If we don't have that exchange, you're actually taking other person's stuff on yourself. That's how a lot of healers actually take on their clients' pain. And if they're lucky, if they know the techniques to let it go, it's good. But if they don't, a lot of them or some of them might get sick. And I know quite a few that do get sick periodically. They kind of like get all that energy that they might not have had if they had the equal exchange of energies. And by equal, I don't mean like you have to measure it, because that requires a judgment system, that requires a measuring system. No, I'm talking about something that you feel fulfilled, that it feels good when you're giving energy and it feels good when you're receiving. And that's actually, we can talk about gifting, receiving as a contribution instead of giving, receiving transactional reality, transactional kind of like exchange of energy, where you're actually measuring how much you receive and how much you give. what if you give up the transactional reality? What if you give up the cause and effect reality? Actually, what if you give up all your points of view? What would that create in your life? What if you give up your love for the money or your hate for the money? How much of that is limiting you? And by the way, there is actually a program in your brain that's called love-hate relationship. You cannot have love without hate, and you cannot have hate without love. Love and hate are not opposite of each other. They're actually the same. A lot of times you can read about it and it says love and hate is just two sides of the same coin. It's the opposite of hate is not love. To me, opposite of hate is gratitude. Because gratitude doesn't have strings attached. So what if instead of love, we can have gratitude for money? How much would that invite it in? Think about any relationship you had. When somebody would tell you, I love you, and it's that need, that kind of like codependency a lot of times in that love, and you want to run away, right? Well, money is the same thing. If you hate money, money would run away. If you love money with that sickening, oh, come to me, come to me, come to me, oh, I need you, I need you, I need you. From that space, money is like, I don't think so. I don't want you. Versus if you shift from love-hate and be grateful, money has a different point of view. It's like, oh, you like me. You're grateful for me. How come? I like being grateful for. I like playing. I don't like serious. I don't like need. I don't like needy people. Do you actually love needy people? No. You like being around, well, at least, okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. I like being around people who are fun, who don't need me, but they like to be around me. When people need me, it's kind of like I want to get away from them. It's like literally like ugh. And when they're just like, oh, let's play, that's a different energy. So what if you can be that energy with money, and also with other people, and also with relationship with your health, with your body? And it's actually time for our first break in the show. And when we return, we'll talk more about tools and how we can shift and change to create more in our lives. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is money. Do you love or hate it? In the first part, we kind of talked about that it's love-hate programming. And if you love or hate it, money usually don't come, because if you hate money, just like in a relationship, if you hate somebody, do they like to be around you? Or if you love them with that need, they don't want to be around you either. So now let's move to how can we change that? And we talked a little bit about gratitude, but that's okay. It's like, oh, okay, but how do I do that? Because a lot of times it's like, yeah, I know what to do, but still not working. A lot of our points of view that creates that is more about picking up other people's points of view. And we talk about that tool many, many times in different shows. Who does it belong to? And a lot of those points of view, a lot of that love or hate, like those points of view, money is root of all evil, is probably not even yours. So look at any points of view you have right now about money. Just bring it up. What does money mean to you? What judgments do you have about money? Whew. So let's ask, who does that belong to? Who does this belong to? And who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? Oh, not yours. If it lightened up, that wasn't yours. If it disappeared, it's not yours. And would you be willing to return it back to sender with full consciousness attached? Because that's what it is. It's basically, if we have somebody else's points of view, we create our reality based on their points of view, on their reality. How many of you are kind of like trying to recreate, actually not trying, I take it back, resisting having the same money situation as your parents while creating that? Part of it, if we resist to something, we create that. If we align and agree with that, we create that. It doesn't matter if we are kind of like in that polarity of right and wrong, good and bad. We usually create either one of those spectrum. Might be closer to the good one, maybe closer to the bad one, doesn't matter. The idea is to get out of polarity, to get out of right and wrong, to get out of what we think, what we feel, because all of those, majority of them, are points of view that we are either avoiding or defending, either resisting and reacting or aligning and agreeing. What if you kind of like let it go? All that defense and all that avoidance, just be with that and allow the energy of whatever is there to come forward. But no, we have to judge it. How many of you always in a judgment, always in that space of, oh, you're doing this wrong. Oh, no. This is not how we do it. Oh, you're so good. You're perfect. You're doing it so good. And how much of that you're doing with your kids? Training them and then training them into that polarity. So when they grow up, they will be doing the same shit, the same limitations, maybe even better than you. What if you let the kids have the awareness? What if instead of judgment, we use our awareness? What if instead of that polarity, we use our consciousness? Not the cognitive consciousness, but the consciousness that we are connected to the universal consciousness. Because the universe knows, we know, because we are part of it. We are that drop in the ocean, but yet, because we are connected to all the drops, we are the ocean itself. In the last show, I actually talked about that oneness, where we are one with everything. And you can, if you missed that one, you can listen to it. But I talked about that our molecules are no different than this computer molecules. Yeah, my body is organic, but if we look at the atoms, they're all part of the table of elements. The chemical composition is slightly different, but the atoms themselves, the energy underlying it, all the same. The air, the water, the grass, the trees, the animals, we all are made, like life on earth is a carbon based. It doesn't matter if it's a tree or a human body. It's all based on the carbon element. And by the way, carbon makes our bodies, makes the coal that is burning for the fuel, and when it's under pressure, it actually becomes a diamond. It looks different, and yet it's the same. But we forget that. We judge. We go into polarity. We create the barriers, barricades between each other, between ourselves, between our body and us, and separate to the point where we are not even receiving. Just look at that. We're all the same. Every single person on this planet has the body that might look different. It might look black, white, yellow, orange, whatever it is. It might have a different sex. And right now, there is so many definitions of the sex of the person. And there's so many judgments about those definitions. How much of separation that creates. And isn't that the love and hate program? What if we give up that love-hate program? Because it's not just limiting our money, it's also limiting our relationship. It's limiting our health. If we don't have judgments, if we don't have love or love-hate relationship, because look at that. It's not just money we love and hate. How much do you love and hate your body? How much do you love and hate people around you? Some you might judge that you love, and yet there are days when you hate them. There are people that you think you hate, but there might be days that, well, probably not, because there is so much judgment associated with hate that love might not even show up. Especially if you decide those people are wrong. But is there any person that's always wrong? They might be wrong with you, they might be wrong toward the country, but with their family, they might be right. So there's so many nuances that we ignore when we're judging. And yet our topic is money, so let's go to money, love or hate. And yet it's the same. Money, relationship, health, it's all, or time. Time is another artificial creation. Think about it, like everything that I talked about, money, time, relationships, and health. How much of all of that is artificial creation? And it's not real. Money is energy. It's not currency. It's not the paper. It's not the gold. Because if you look historically, in the beginning, before the currency, before the paper, before the gold, before all of that, it's exchange of energy. In the ancient time, in the cavemen, it might have been stones that had been exchanged. It was products. And there was kind of like equivalent of things. And so how much that was invention? Time, we know, is artificial because time is total artificial creation. And yet, because we created the linear time, the physical world been created. Relationship, how much of that is again artificial creation? Because relationship is a distance between 2 points. So we're creating the relationship, but what if instead of creating the relationship, maintaining the relationship, we actually be in communion with each other? So we talked about money, we talked about time, we talked about relationship. Health, that's another invention because it's a judgment. And it's our judgment, it's judgment of other people toward us. And think about it. Because there are people who have cancer, who actually became a motivational speakers. What if health is again, just like relationship, it's a relationship with our bodies, and it's artificial creation between us and the body that creates that distance, creates the illness, or dis-ease. And it's time for our second break of the show. Yeah, time flies. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today's show topic is money, do you love or hate it? And the funniest thing, I got distracted because my cat, or actually my daughter's cat, Bruce, decided to show up. He's actually behind the screen. And so in the first two parts, going to our topic, away from the cats who decide to be little kind of like cats. Cats are cats. So with first two parts, we were talking about love-hate program, we talked about gratitude, we talked about oneness, and we talked about that it doesn't belong to us, and also that all of that money, time, relationship, and health are artificial creation. Saying that, people say, okay, it's artificial creation, but still, I don't have money to pay for food. I don't have money to pay for this. I don't have money for... So how do we change our lives so we can have as much as we can, and as much as we need, and as much and more? One of the ways is to give up the love-hate program, to give up defending your past. Part of the thing is there is, I call it a horrible program point of view of we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to learn from our past. What it is, if we trying to learn from our past, meaning that we concentrate on the past. And by virtue of that, what happens? We repeat the past in different variation. How many of you have done that? I've done that. Instead, what if we actually give up our past? Because truly, if we concentrate on something, we create more of that. If you concentrate on lack, you create more of that. If you concentrate on abundance, you create more abundance. Universe listens to you. Universe actually listens to your emotions and feelings, because that's where the energy is. If you say, I want more money, I need more money, that's where the universe concentrating on, because both need and want is lack. And the universe says, oh, okay. Or if you say, I have so many bills, the universe, okay, you want more bills? Because it doesn't hear kind of like the nuances of our speech. So in order to create a different future, we have to start now. We have to stop looking back. I love visuals. So look at them, like if you know how to drive a car, which majority of us do. If you're driving a car and you're looking always toward the back, what happens? You get into a car accident. You can look in the back a little bit, but do not concentrate on the back. Don't concentrate on the past. Look to the future. What can I create now? Instead of, I didn't have money yesterday, I'm not going to have it today, and I'm not going to have it in the future. What does that create? Same thing, same shit like it was yesterday. So instead of doing that, it's like, okay, didn't have money yesterday. I hated money yesterday. I loved money yesterday. What am I going to choose now? That's the thing. We talked about the tool of who does it belong to. Now let's talk about 10 seconds increment tool. It's actually wonderful. So instead of choosing to kind of like concentrate on the past, the future, present, people say, oh, live one day at a time. I had a hard time with one day at a time because it's so long. It's better than living in the past, but still, what if we actually choose to live in 10 seconds increments? 10 seconds is actually small enough interval of time. I know time is not real, but small enough interval of that artificial time that allows us to concentrate on that stretch. Just like instead of running a marathon, Bruce, no kicking computer. We actually concentrate on that segment of 10 seconds. And we're going to play a game. And I love that game. Bruce, no. That's funny. No. It's so funny when you say no, guess what? He wants to do more. And that's the same thing. If we are avoiding something, we're actually getting more. If we resist something, getting more. Thank you, Bruce, for demonstrating it perfectly. Because we're all the same. We do it with things. So how about you? Again, inviting it will not help either, because that's when he will do it. Just be neutral. Just like, okay, you do it, you don't do it. And as soon as I did that, he now doing that to the box behind me, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So 10 seconds increments. Choose maybe a movement, choose something that you would like to do in the next 10 seconds. Or let's see, what can we do in 10 seconds increments? I know. Let's love money for 10 seconds and then hate it for 10 seconds. How about that? So starting now, 2, 1, start loving money. If you love money so much. Oh my God, money are wonderful, money are here and they are joyful. Now hate money. Oh, they're dirty, they're evil, they're bad. Keep doing it, and now love money again. Loving money, loving money, loving money. 2, 1, now hate money. Hate it. And now love money again. More loving. Oh, money. And now hate money. Money is dirty. It's a blood money. It's I cannot keep up with money. It's never enough of money. Okay, now love them. Oh, I always have a lot of money, and there's always enough. I love it. It's wonderful. And now hate it again. Oh, how you feel right now? Different, right? This is actually how you can get out of love and hate relationship with money, just by doing that simple exercise. As I said, we have 2 tools now. We have who does it belong to and 10 seconds increments. It's so wonderful because all of it is just our point of view, creating a reality, our point of view that stops us, our thoughts, feelings, emotions. Those are the ones creating the limitations. What if we let go of all of them? Especially the love-hate program. Because if we work on money, by the way, a lot of times people's relationship improve, health improve, and they have more time. It's funny, but it's all interrelated. Just like in one of the segments we talked about carbon, because we are all like on this planet is carbon-based life, meaning that everything alive is based on the atom of carbon. And it's about being the same, being one, and yet we separate. We separate from money, we separate from people, we separate from our bodies. And it's time for our third and final break of the show. And when we come back, we will be talking more about future shows and future what's coming. And you've been listening, and more tools. Who knows what will come up in the last 10 minutes of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is money. Do you love or hate it? And we already had 3 segments, so you can, if you're just joining us now, you can listen to them in the recording on multiple platforms: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. I mean, there's like 300 different podcast platform, including podcast stations and TV stations, including Binge TV. It probably will be available within an hour or a couple of hours to do the recording. And it's not the last show, so you can tune in every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, and 9 o'clock Pacific. You can look up your time in the world. As I said, it's every Wednesday, and we talk about different topics that can help you shift and change your life to create more abundance with ease, because that's the name of my show, name of my business, Creating Abundance with Ease. With all of that, you can go to the website creatingabundancewithease.com or accessconsciousness.com and find me. Also connect to me with Facebook, Instagram, email me. If you have any questions, you can always contact me, and we can either privately chat or I can answer it if it's appropriate for the show. We can talk on the show live. Next week, our show, I do shows in 2 languages, English and Russian. Next week, the show will be in Russian, созидание или застой, creation or decay, and we will be talking in Russian. There is still energy behind those shows. Even if you do not understand the language, you're welcome to join and listen just for the energy itself, because a lot of times just by listening to certain clearings, to certain tools, it actually shifts and changes, especially when you do not understand language cognitively, because it bypasses your cognitive mind, the logical mind. Logical mind is where all the limitations stored, and a lot of times by bypassing it, we can clear easier. Just saying, you don't have to, but you're welcome to join. With everything that's going on in the world, money, right now with gas prices going up, with a lot of things shifting and changing, with the war, with COVID still going, it's time of allowing yourself to look at what's important in your life, to give up those programs of love and hate, and just be grateful for what is. A lot of times we forget that. We kind of concentrate on the problems. And guess what that will create? That will create more problems. Whatever we concentrate on, that's what we create. If we concentrate on gratitude, joy, abundance, ease, even if you don't have as much, or you're judging you don't have as much, you might start creating that. I would invite you between now and next week or in the future, write down 10 things you're grateful for. Doesn't matter how big or small. Just start that. You can choose a notebook and write in there everything you're grateful for that day. And it's very simple. It doesn't have to be a lot. Okay, I'm grateful I can hear this show. Thank you, universe. I'm grateful that I can walk. If you cannot walk, I'm sorry. Maybe you can use a wheelchair. Thank you, universe, I can use a wheelchair. Thank you, universe, I had my breakfast. If you didn't have food, maybe you can get food somewhere. It doesn't matter what you're grateful for. There is always a few things you're grateful for. So if you start concentrating on that, it starts getting bigger and bigger. Versus if you concentrate, oh my God, I don't have money. Guess what? You look in the wallet and they start getting smaller and smaller. Just allow yourself. And there's another tool I'm going to give you before the end of the show. How does it get any better than that? And you can say it when it's good or when it's not so good. That will actually get you out of concentrating on the problems. How does it get any better than that? What else is possible? Start shifting energetically, because your frame of mind will change, and with that, the limitations will change. We have only a couple of minutes left in the show. Again, I just want to remind you, connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. You can always email me through the website, creatingabundancewithease.com. If you're new to the show, I do have a gift. It's meditation on expansion. It's on my website, and you can download it for free. This will allow you to sign up for my newsletter that comes out once a month. Lately, it's been a little bit less. If you don't want to subscribe, you can always unsubscribe. It's very easy. Just click the button. Let's talk a little bit about shifting and changing the limitations and emotions. We started with how does it get any better than that? This is an amazing tool. It shifted my life so much. So let's play with that right now. Think of an area in your life, money, relationship, and let's just say, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? And if it's hard for you to imagine, don't wait for the answer. That's the thing. When you're asking those questions, don't wait for the answer. Don't kind of look for an answer. I have no idea. Oh, it cannot. Let it go. It's about asking the universe, and the universe will give you either an awareness, or the universe will shift and change, and you will shift and change your situation for the better. And again, better is points of view. It's a judgment. What if there was no better or worse? I had a long discussion in one of my shows about my major surgery. I ended up with a heart disease at 37, where it stopped me and I couldn't work. It actually was probably the best thing that happened, not while it was happening, granted, but again, sometimes it pays to look back to the past and saying, oh, that's what it was for. Thank you, universe, and be grateful. What if you be grateful, not just for the good things, but for the bad things? Because bad and good is just a judgment. Right and wrong is just a judgment. Those are judgments that polarity creates. In this reality, it's constantly, oh, this is right, this is good, this is bad. What if you be grateful for everything in your life? And I mean everything. No matter how painful, no matter how good, no matter how pleasurable. What if you be grateful for every person, for everything that's going on in your life? And as I said, next week, the show will be in Russian. And we'll talk more about tools of access consciousness, of Akashic Records, and create more in our lives that is productive. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.